In this episode of AbleOrange.
Okay.
What's up, Able audience? I'm back again. So, I'm here at IJAMS Nature Center. Yes, I know it says IJAMS, but this is IJAMS Nature Center in Knoxville, Tennessee. Let's get into the video. My name's William, and this is AbleOrange. Oh, and I'm wearing orange gloves. Well, the first thing I will mention is it is cold. If you can see behind me, the pond is frozen, just to give you an idea of how cold it is today. It recently snowed, so there's still some on the ground over there, but it's thawing. Long story short, I can't wait till it warms up. Let's get going on this trail.
IJAMS Nature Center is one of Knoxville's most beloved outdoor spaces, known for its beautiful trails, wildlife, and accessibility for most visitors. And today, we're starting our journey right here on the Universal Trail, a path designed to make nature more accessible for everyone. The Universal Trail isn't as long as some of the other trails here at IJAMS, but it's definitely one of the most accessible. It's a short, well-maintained path that allows people of all abilities to enjoy the beauty of nature without worrying about rough terrain. It's also a great starting point if you're new to hiking or just want a relaxing stroll. G'day mate, and welcome to Able Outback.
Alright, we gotta be very quiet. We've come across a wild Kubota. They think it'd tear you apart limb from limb. But let's see if we can get up here close to it. Crikey, ain't she a beaut? One wrong move and she'll rip me head clean off. You gotta be very careful. Their natural habitat is in the wild. Besides shipping containers, they especially like the green ones because it blends with the natural foliage.
Well, we didn't get attacked by the wild Kubota, but behind me is the entrance to the habitat, which I believe they do a lot of tours and demonstrations in the warmer months, which I'm gonna definitely have to revisit on a day that isn't freezing. But I just wanted to point out that when you do come up this trail, you do come across these railings. So as far as the accessibility, say you just want to get out in nature, and say paved trails is all you're capable of doing because you have a wheelchair or walker, or you have more struggles than I do. Anytime I see railings on the trail, it's just so considerate. I personally like it, so that gets a thumbs up for me for accessibility. Let's keep going and see where this ends up. I know this is a shorter trail, so I'm hoping this goes somewhere. Maybe it links up with another trail, who knows. So as you can see, it's kind of like I thought. When you come the Universal Trail, it does kind of end up on that little initial staircase when you come out of the visitor center. But if you kind of see behind me, if the camera will focus up, it'll branch off into several other trails, but today we're going to be taking the Boardwalk Trail. It's one I'm familiar with and haven't been on since I became disabled. So let's keep going.
It's very muddy and slippery up there.
Okay, thank you. Alright, so ignoring the sound of a distant helicopter that's approaching, this is the North Cove Trail, which, as you heard the lady say earlier, I've been told twice now that it is muddy. So basically, I'm just gonna have to be more careful than I usually am.
It was at this moment I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
But if I bite it, it's not gonna be the end of the world. I'll be okay, and let's see if I can make it.
The North Cove Trail isn't the longest or most intense trail at IJAMS, but it's a quiet, beautiful spot that takes you through some pretty unique scenery. It winds through wooded areas, crosses over small streams, and gives you that perfect balance of relaxation and adventure. But before we dive deeper into the trail, let's talk a little about the history of IJAMS. This place actually started as a private sanctuary. Back in the early 1900s, Harry and Alice IJAMS transformed this land into a haven for wildlife. What started as a family retreat slowly grew into something much bigger, eventually becoming a 318-acre nature center dedicated to conservation and outdoor recreation. Today, IJAMS is a place where everyone, whether you're a seasoned hiker or just looking for a peaceful walk, can experience the beauty of nature up close. And trails like this, they're a part of what makes IJAMS so special.
So I believe it's several spots like this. I don't know how well it's showing up in the video, but you can definitely see some butt prints and some shoe sliding prints right here where it gets slick on a downhill incline. So we're gonna try to see how it's kind of dry and crunchy on the outskirts of the trail. Still on the trail, but gonna try to stay dry, but I have a little bit of an advantage with the crutches, but we'll see how my legs hold out. Just a disclaimer, for accessibility's sake, please explore at your own discretion. If you have difficulties like me, you should not be doing this. Muscular dystrophy community, don't try this at home. I'm very stubborn and adventurous, and part of my channel is I do this kind of stuff so you guys don't have to and hurt yourself, because I do not want you guys to hurt yourself. So let's see if I can make it. Worst case scenario, it gets too dodgy and I turn back. But this is AbleOrange. It's about adventure and pushing myself and pushing past limits. So let's go.
Now normally this wouldn't be an extreme trail, but with all the snow we just had melting into the ground, this path turned into a serious challenge. The mud is thick, the footing is unstable, and for someone like me with muscular dystrophy, every step is a measurable risk.
Here's yet another slick spot. If you can see in the video there, more butt prints and more places where people have definitely bit the ground right there. And I don't know if it's just me as an individual, but a good eye for detail, and especially having what I call four-wheel drive, helps in situations like this. But we're making it slowly but surely. I don't know if I have to come back up this way, but if this trail goes where I think it does, I think we can loop around. So let's keep going and hope that I don't hurt myself. This is definitely the most dangerous hike that I've been on so far. Not because the trail's necessarily challenging, but as I mentioned in the beginning, it recently snowed, so everything is kind of like mushy and wet. So highly recommend coming to IJAMS and checking this place out. It's beautiful out here, and it's even more pretty in the summer and spring. So yeah, let's keep going.
This is one of those trails that changes with the weather. After a dry spell, it's probably an easy, relaxing walk. But today, between the mud and the slushy, boarded sections, this hike is no joke. I want you to take notice of how slick these boards get when they are wet. Not only are they just wet, they have remnants of the previous snowfall. See all the slush towards the sides? That is especially hazardous. I can't stress enough in this video how cautious I had to be. Normally, I would advise against shortcuts, but I had to make an exception for my own safety. Now, when I first stepped onto this part of the trail, I knew right away this was going to be rough. The ground was soft and slick, and every step felt like my foot could go out from under me at any moment. The worst part, this section is completely downhill. I had to take it one step at a time, literally, using everything I got to make it through. But eventually, by some miracle, I made it to the bottom. Making it to this point made me realize that this is no longer hiking. This is now survival, because I was too far downhill to give up and go back. It was far more dangerous for me to about face and head back to the car. I had to go forward not knowing what was ahead of me.
Okay. Well. Well, that just happened.
It was nice seeing flat ground. For now.
So after all those calculated risks going down those muddy slopes and doing relatively okay, slipping a couple times but not falling, I managed to find it on the fairly straightaway path here, but it was bound to happen eventually. But that's not going to stop me. That's just encourages me to keep going. That's just something I face on a daily, so let's keep going.
Here's the thing about muscular dystrophy. It's not just about being quote-unquote weaker than the average person. My muscles don't respond the way a typical hiker's would. An able-bodied person can catch themselves when they slip because their muscles react fast enough. But for me, my reaction time is much, much slower. My legs don't always engage when I need them to. If I start falling, my body isn't going to correct itself the way it should. That makes everything riskier.
Uh-oh. And it's at this part of the trail, although not so muddy anymore, we come across muscular dystrophy's worst enemy. Stairs. Can I make it down safely? Let's see. I'm pretty sure I have to go upstairs on the other side. So, all right, let's keep going.
Stairs, for most people, they're just a minor obstacle. Something you barely even think about. You take a step, shift your weight, and go down without a second thought. Maybe you hold on to the railing out of habit, but that's it. But for me, stairs are an entirely different experience. When you have muscular dystrophy, going down a single step takes more effort, more control, and a lot more time than it does for the average person. Every movement has to be deliberate. Every step requires planning. If I don't get my footing just right, I don't just stumble, I fall. Completely. And once I fall, you've seen before, getting up isn't easy.
Oh, jeez. That was almost bad. So this is another part of our adventure where I highly encourage, especially if you're in my situation. There's a bench here on the boardwalk, so I get to take a break for a little bit, but we got to keep going. You guys definitely saw my pants are very wet and muddy now, and so are my shoes after biting it. That what I managed to capture on camera wasn't even the first time that I've fallen on this trail, but it's just an example of the miserable risk I take doing this channel. But I just want to be a light to you guys and just show that it is possible, because especially with the conditions after being snowy, according to science and medical research, what I'm currently doing and with the weakness sorry, I can't talk, with the weakness of my limbs, supposedly isn't supposed to be possible. So like I said in the very first video of AbleOrange, it's about pushing myself and breaking barriers, making people aware that just because I've got these babies doesn't mean that I'm just a vegetable and completely useless. So yeah, let's keep trekking.
The boardwalk at IJAMS Nature Center is one of the most scenic and beautiful parts of this trail system. It takes you right over the water, giving you a breathtaking view of the Tennessee River. But today, this boardwalk isn't just a walkway, It's a hazard, as you've already seen. Now, normally walking on a boardwalk like this is no big deal for the average person. It's just a nice, peaceful path with a great view. But after snowfall, this thing turns into an ice rink, or in my case, a slush rink. The wood is slick, the railing is damp, and one wrong step can send me down hard. And as if that wasn't enough, let's talk about the river we're walking over, the Tennessee River. The Tennessee River is more than just a beautiful sight, it's a major part of this region's history. This river stretches over 650 miles, flowing through 7 states before joining the Ohio River. It's been a lifeline for people here for centuries. First for the indigenous tribes who lived along its banks, then for the settlers, traders, and eventually industry. During the 1930s, the Tennessee Valley Authority, also known as the TVA, built dams along the river to control flooding and provide electricity to the region. That changed life here forever. But today, the Tennessee River isn't just about history, it's a key part of Knoxville's landscape, used for boating, fishing, and outdoor recreation. And right now, it's directly below me, while I'm trying not to slip and fall on this boardwalk. Now I know you've heard enough of me complaining on this boardwalk and on this trail in general, but here's the thing, I still do it. Even though it takes me longer, even though it drains way more energy, even though every step could end with me on the ground or worse, I still do it. Because at the end of the day, I want to prove something, not just to myself, but to anyone who's ever felt like the world isn't built for them, because it's not. But that doesn't mean we stop trying.
So my GoPro's dying and my backup batteries aren't charged. That was my bad. But I just wanted to show you guys. Here's the river trail. It says, these steps are not suitable for strollers, wheelchairs, or hikers with mobility issues, which technically is true for the trail that I just came from, just given the weather. But I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's steps that are carved out of the rock here. There's these steps over here behind me. See that? They're right about there in the camera. So they're carved out of the natural rock. It's a beautiful trail. I remember going up these when I was more able-bodied, but after what I've been through, I think my fall count is about 8 right now. I didn't get the rest of them. I haven't hurt myself, but my butt is wet, my jeans are soaking wet, my feet are definitely very wet, and it is still cold. As you can see in the shot, there's still snow behind me. It hasn't melted yet, so right now I just want to get back to the car, but this is a beautiful place to explore. I'm definitely going to come back, maybe do a part 2 of IJAMS and explore when there's more foliage and it's not still winter and everything's bad. So apologies if the rest of the video seems a little expedited. It's because my GoPro's dying. So let's see if we can make it back to the car safely. Hey, are you watching through this video this far and you're not subscribed? If you want to see more content like this, things are just getting started. Definitely gonna have a backup battery in the future, but please hit that subscribe button right now before the video finishes. If you like this content and you want to see more of me stumbling around on trails, maybe not around Tennessee, maybe I'll go to different states, but please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Links in the descriptions for more about IJAMS Nature Center. Let's keep going.
Now I'm just making my way up the service road, continuing on the path from that sign earlier that said, continue ahead for a more accessible path, avoiding those stairs. But then there's this weird white SUV that already passed me once, and now here they are again, stopping just ahead of me. And here I am thinking, am I about to be abducted? Realistically though, they were probably just lost in checking their phone. But it was still creepy being just me and them on this service road in the middle of the forest. Because my GoPro had died, I accidentally got lost on a side trail for about 45 minutes before I came to this area, which is the quarry, which you can see across the road where the cars are passing there.
Excuse me. Is the info center that way?
Yes.
I got turned around and lost.
Oh. Yeah, I just came from there.
Okay, thank you. So, word to the wise, if you are feeling brave and want to explore, I finally made it back to what seems to be a trail rather than the back road and trails that turned out to not actually be trails. There was a solid, I'd say 45 minutes. Oh, jeez. Well, that just happened. I can't believe I got that on video. Sorry guys. So you see, that's what happens with muscle weakness. Sometimes my legs just stop being legs and they just completely ghost away from me and I fall over. So that is number 13 or 14 if I've been counting correctly up till now. So yeah, that's one of the things that I face about doing these adventures is muscle weakness. So I'm on the ground, my crutches are over here. Give me a second, I gotta get up. Oh, my jeans are so wet and dirty. Well, what I was trying to say before my legs ghosted me, like most of the girls on dating apps, is I've made it back to this more accessible trail. There's a good almost an hour that I got lost in the woods for real, but my GoPro is currently dead and I don't have a backup battery that is charged. That was my fault. So right now our main goal, the visitor center is up that way somewhere, so I don't know how far it is, but my legs are definitely feeling it, as you could see. So this is, yeah, the most dangerous adventure that I've taken so far. Mostly due to my own discernment with my ability. I just need to learn to be more careful in the future. So let's get on up this path and hope that we don't bite it anymore or get lost again. So yeah, GoPro dead. Let's go. I have fallen yet again for 15th time, 16th, maybe. I'm definitely feeling it in my legs. I think behind me, you can see all that stuff in the trees. That's the Navitat here at IJAMS. I hear people, so I'm close to, yeah, I see the sign. That's the Navitat thing where you get to climb the canopy. But basically, I'm at the point in this adventure where after getting lost unexpectedly for so long, and I'm definitely feeling it in my legs, and after falling so many times, stumbling around, I probably look like I'm drunk. So I'm too close to give up now. I'm going to keep pushing and make it back to the parking lot. I never thought I'd be so happy to see the Kubota again. I know where I am. We're back at the Universal Trail, guys. I really wish I got more of me being lost on camera. I think I got some footage of that gravel road, but it was a trail that branched off from that gravel road that I took that I thought was a trail, but it just wound up spitting me in the middle of the woods with no sign of a trail marker or anything. But I popped out around the main road and around the quarry and Navitat, so I guess it technically worked out in the end. But holy goodness, am I happy to see that Kubota again after all that. Okay, so that was an unexpected adventure, not at all what I expected to encounter today. The trails quite literally kicked my butt, but obviously I've made it back to the car, and I covered about roughly 4 miles today. If you remember, I barely made it 1 mile at the Bob White 88 trail at Seven Island State Park. So yeah, I'm really feeling it. And this, I believe, for the first time in AbleOrange, I've actually captured what happens to me every single day as an individual with muscular dystrophy when I fall. Yeah, so yeah, there you go. For everybody on Instagram that was saying I was faking my disability, there's your proof. Falls like that happen pretty much every morning for me. Once or twice daily is about normal for me, but today's final fall count, if I go back to the footage and I think about where I slipped up or my legs gave out, it was about 18 to 19 different times that I fell completely down, either on my side, on my back, on my butt, or onto my knees, but luckily it was onto soft mud or grass. So I'm not hurt, but I'm definitely feeling my muscles aching from especially getting lost, walking that extra distance. One wonderful thing about IJAMS Nature Center is that you still have cell service because you're still right here near town in Knoxville. So if you do get lost, odds are you can just pull out your phone and Google Maps and be like, okay, I need to head that direction. But I have experience with compass and hiking from when I was able-bodied, and I have a lot of survival knowledge in my pocket. So if you guys enjoy this and you want to see more, because I'm definitely excited now despite the challenge that was presented to me today, if you guys want to see more, please don't forget to subscribe down below, leave a like if you like this video, leave a comment telling me that, William, you're crazy, why are you doing this, you're disabled, you're not supposed to be doing this. I know, that's the entire point of this channel. But please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get notified when I post new content. As always, my name's William, and this has been AbleOrange. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.